Hello, it's John here for another 850 tutorial. We are going to be creating a watch face for the Gear S123 series. They are a series of smartwatches, as I'm sure you know. So they have cool digital watch faces that we can create and sell on a marketplace. So it's a bit niche, but any opportunity is a selling opportunity, an opportunity to make money. Hopefully right now you are looking at the final outcome that is on my watch if my awesome video editing skills are working. If not, you are just listening to the soothing sounds of my voice. Okay, time for the tutorial. Let's jump straight in. So what I've done is I've jumped a bit ahead of time and I've created this sort of face. I wanted like the numbers and a particular sort of style. So I've just created these in Photoshop. So it's just a bunch of text layers. And what I did is I used sort of one of the presets, tweaked the preset a bit, got to sort of look how I want it to go for. And the design that I'm going for is going to be a sort of minimalist, Japanese-inspired Hokusai Yukoi design watch face. So I'm sure you've seen the wave before, the infamous Hokusai wave. I'm going to be taking that as a graphic design sort of principle, dropping it on a texture to give the overall sort of watch face design. And I'm actually going to animate it as well because why not? It should look hopefully okay. So this is a quick test that I've done earlier, and it's not like awesome or anything. I feel like it could potentially be done a bit better, and I want to sort of go through the process as well. So I've quickly imported this Photoshop file, saved it, imported it, and I'm just going to create a new canvas. So Control N, and the actual watch face I think is 360 by 360. So let's go for that. 360, and this is an important note: set your frames per second to 15, because when you import into the software that builds it, it's going to be running at 15 FPS. And for the final one, I'm actually going to go for 4 seconds, because in the original, this was okay. I feel like there's a couple of tweaks I'd like to slightly do a bit better, things a bit more differently. So let's get my numbers in there first of all. And there we go, that's the base of my watch face. So at least I've got a bit of an idea about where things go and how things are going to look. I've also got two canvases. These are going to be my textures. And I've previously created these, and it's not much to them, but like if we sort of scroll in and move around, you can see I put like a bit of almost like a texture on there, as like painted that in using like a paintbrush. And I was trying to go for almost like sort of like a rice paper, like an old fancy rich paper feel to it for the design. So I've imported that as well. So I'm going to drop this one down here. And when I created them huge, because initially they were designed for a background of an animation I was working on. And yeah, that should do. Now we can't really see too much detail on this. I'm going to drop a brightness and contrast. I'm going to pump that contrast up a bit and also the brightness down. Yeah, that looks okay. We're seeing a bit of detail around there. That's kind of what we were going for. If we drop that a bit more down, we can really sort of see the shape of the paper, the texture I was going for around the edges. And obviously, so like the higher contrast, loosely the better. But the edges around up here, we're not going to see too much anyway. So bring that in, and I'm going to tint it yellow. So color correction and hue and saturation wherever you are. There you are. Colorize. Go super bright. Find where yellow is. There. And bring down that brightness again. Just so it's subtle. I want it to be quite subtle. Cool. And that is loosely my background right now. Now you can't really see the watch face too well on that, but don't worry about that for now. We're going to come back and make a couple of changes with that. Next, I want to create the actual sort of centerpiece itself. And I'm going to do this with the pen tool and, grab like a nice deeper blue. And at this point, this is where what I want to start with is sort of the main frame. And it's going to be, the main sort of like Hokusai wave design. And what I'm probably going to do is sort of fast forward this part a bit, like, maybe play it like double speaks to get this sort of perfect. It's probably going to take a bit of time because I would like this to sort of look nice. And it's going to be a case of just going there and making lots of small tweaks. So right now, just holding sort of the Alt key and finding a point where the waves sort of going to look good, bringing them into place. And I'll come back and I'll tweak this more a bit because we've got the wave now. We've got what was like the Mount Fuji, but I'm going to bring that in, incorporate it as part of my wave design. And when we've got that, we're going to go into our content, our shape, our path. We're going to go into our path. We're going to turn on keyframing. And then what we'll be able to do is once we've got keyframing on, we'll be able to sort of move these around, bring this up, and then we'll have like sort of a path of everything sort of moving when we play backwards. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to do this. Give me a moment. Okay, so I now have the wave in place, all set up, looking pretty good. Bear in mind that we're only really going to see inside this circle. So that's looking pretty good. That's most of the elements done there. There's going to be, I need to make one more sort of change, and that's actually to this clock face, to the clock face. So what I'm going to do is find the numbers like this, and I'm going to duplicate them. And I want the part loosely. There's going to be a part where that sort of drops down too much, but it should be okay. And what I want to do is hide this top one, and I'm going to mask off this other one. In fact, let me just quickly actually had an idea. I want to sort of try what sort of blending modes would do. Actually, In fact, 'cause what I was going to do, sorry, I was going to get this whole bottom area and then set this to white and then have this area up here black. But I think by just using difference, it sort of already works. Just got to find what I think is sort of the best looking one. That looks quite nice. But is it the winner? Yeah, let's go exclusion because then we're sort of getting that bit of tone of both of them. Cool. Alright, almost done with that. I'm going to bring in my other canvas, set you under here, and on my shape, I'm going to go to Effect, Stylize, Texturize. And I'm going to be like, you be blue canvas, blue. And now, if we sort of look closely, we can sort of see the effects of that. Let's stretch it to fit. So get that contrast looking okay. And then I'll rotate it until I'm loosely happy with that. That looks quite nice. Awesome. There we go. There we have sort of the main aspects of the body. What I'm going to do at this point now is export all this out. I'm going to include the clock face with it, and then I'm going to start putting it together. So let's press Control M for mother. I'm going to go quick, nope, not QuickTime, Reflex, PNG sequence, and I don't need alpha because we've not got any alpha in there. Hit OK, and choose where you want to render that to. And then hit render. And for the moment, I've just copied that onto my computer, but I'm going to move that into the place where the source files are for the application. So my comp has come through and it's all here, all looking all beautiful and stuff. So I'm going to select that, Control C, and inside my program files, inside animation, I'm going to paste that. Big wave. Cool. That's fine. Do your thing. Alright. Let's now jump across into Gear Watch Designer. So this is a fairly simple piece of software to use if you've not used it before. You can download this off the interweb, off the Gear website. Just type in Gear Watch custom faces and you'll pretty much find that upon the developer site. So I'm going to just start a new, and I'm going to call this Big Wave. And yep, that all seems good. Cool. So loosely breaking it down in here, they've been really good at this design. Very sort of impressed with what they've got. Everything sort of looks good. It's all kind of straightforward. All your main components are here. This is what we're going to use. So let's find our animation. That's just telling us about the 15 FPS, which is cool because we made it at 15 FPS. And then let's select all those and then hit import. And what we can do is we can hit the run. And there we go, that's looking pretty good. I really wanted it to only play once, you know, the first time you look at it. I only wanted it to do the wave motion that one time. But I couldn't find, I've not been able to find a way so far to actually be able to just say loop once. So that's why I've tried to put this big space in there. Cool, so we've got to watch. What we're going to need to add next are our components. And because we've already got this, it's already acting as a background. We don't need these because I made my own and added earlier. We are going to want a center point. Did that even add as a center point? Is it this here? That would be the silliest thing ever. It is that there. Cool, so we're going to want to center that. Cool. So we're just going to press this button here to center in the middle. Let's turn the vision back on, and we're going to want to add our watch hands. So there is already a large host of these. So I was a bit tempted to make my own, but considering how many good ones there already are, I figured, what's the point? What is the point? So I think I might go for that one, but I just want to have a scroll through first. Try and look for what's going to suit my purpose. And I'm going to go for this one. I am tempted to take it into Photoshop and invert it, but not for now. Drag underneath, so we've got the dot on top. And over on this right hand side, we've got this whole host of property options. So, sync this with, hour and a day, sync device, pivot point, auto, all looks really good. Lots of cool options. You got like the whole opacity, lots of cool things to play with. And we can even, sort of tweak it and, really make sort of your own design. So yeah, we can do that, but I'm just going to leave that as default for now and continue to set my watch. You know what? I think I'm going to have to flip this. I think really to make it sell and make it look good. Control I. There we go. That's a lot better already. I think that will work. Let's just quickly. You know what? Yeah. Let's just quickly add a background so we'll just make sure. Cool. That works. File, save as. Okay, so back in GearWatch Design, I'm going to delete that and add it again. So the one that we just created was in circle, and it is called preset 1 invert, which I spelled wrong, didn't I? Good work, John. Cool. And let's just make sure that's all good. Either this or my circle is off center. Either that or my circle is off center. Anyway, we've got the hand. Let's add the hand again. I wish it spelled it incorrectly. Cool. And center align again. Hide that hand. This hand, we're going to want it to be shorter. So let's go 300 with a width of 20. And center placement again. We want this one to be 40 width. And we'll probably want the other one to be thinner. So this one's going to be our hour hand. So this one even, is we want this to be 20. So that's thinner, and that's our minute hand. Cool. And just always good to run a preview through. 20 is probably a bit too thin, isn't it? So let's select you again. And you're 30. And see how you look now. How do you like me now? Cool, that's pretty good. And make sure our index is higher over the top. Again, preview one more time. Cool, that works. Just needs to be set to black. Nice. Cool. I mean, pretty loose. That's sort of like all I really wanted to cover, the basics of the design watch. But there's a whole bunch of cool other things we can do in here as well. So I mean, what I've done is I've sort of just looked at getting my design in there and the animation. But we've got these complications which are super cool. I know on my watch I like to sort of have note of the like time's always nice, and the battery. Not really too bothered about some of those other ones. But let's have a quick look at those. Let's put a battery on there because I do find it useful to have a battery. So here we've got a bunch of options, and so we're going for that minimalist design. I think I might just drop you there. And where shall we put you? I think put you here. Let's have a look where the points is lowest. Or shall we center you and have you up here? Yeah, let's center you. Let's center you. But let's also bring you down a little bit. Now if you hold shift, like other things, it will move in scale. Cool. And we've got a whole bunch of, what this does, it brings like just a serious amount of layers with it in. But I think it's because these appear with the percentage. It'd be nice to be able to just find the center one without having to go through them all. So it'd be nice to sort of turn the battery off, but you know, that'll do. And should we put any others on? We can put this gyro effect on, which is that moves things around as you're going, and this light effects always can be quite nice as well. But and what this is, as you tilt your watch, it's going to shine, move that around, and that'll look quite nice. But ultimately, we don't actually want that because it doesn't work with our design. Cool. So there we have it, a sort of minimalist watch, and then what we can do is we would build it, and it's telling me I've not created a energy saving mode yet. A high roll and low lit. Do you want to generate these now for your watch face? No, I do not. Save project and continue. Yes. Yes. But I'm not going to save that for now. Okay, cool. Oops, I shouldn't have actually clicked all that. And then what you can even do is upload to the marketplace if you're happy. What I want to do is I'm going to just run this out as a test, probably put it in my watch for a while, and then see how that goes, see if there's any changes I want to make. I do think it'd also be interesting to have a version where the background changes, because at the moment it's this yellow-white effect. But I am sort of tempted to have that change with the time of the day, and I might do that as a separate quick tutorial another time. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching.